Hello everyone, and welcome to the Flameshaper video. This is again going to be the same as my skill commander one, where I only really go over the skill tree for Flameshaper, or the talent tree. Again, there will be no gameplay actually added to this, and if I do add gameplay in the future, it'll be a separate one. But of course, you can always watch other people's videos as well. So to start off, I'll be pretty much going down the sides of the tree like I did in the previous one, and then go down straight into the middle into the very last one. So the main thing with Flameshaper is our new ability called Engulf. Engulf your target in Dragon Flame, damaging for X amount or healing them for X amount for each of your periodic effects on the target, effectiveness increased by 50%. So pretty much think of fire breath damage. It'll use a percentage of that uh, as essentially just burst damage. And to my knowledge, it does about the same amount of damage as a tip the scales fire breath. And of course, you also have two charges of it. So going down the left side, we have Trailblazer, Hover, and Deep Breath travel 40% faster, and Hover travels 40% further. And then Shape the Flame, Tail Swipe, and Wing Buffet scorch enemies and blind them with Ash, causing their next attack within 4 seconds to miss. It really depends on, again, on what kind of situation you're in. I think in Raid, you'd probably choose Trailblazer, and of course, Shape the Flame you always want to choose in Keys. This is mainly to help out your tank, or if you're in a sticky situation yourself. Considering I think Flameshaper will be generating the most threat out of the two, like Flameshaper and Scale Commander. Critical strike chance against targets of a 50% increase by 10%. This is a really nice buff considering that we are an Execute class, so we do less damage the lower health the targets are. Going down the tree again, Titanic Precision. Living Flame and Azure Strike have one extra chance to trigger Essence Burst when they critically strike. We crit, basically, I think on most of our spells, we crit about 40% of the time whenever a tick of damage happens. So, having a chance at even more Essence Burst, it's the same with Skill Commander. That's completely fine with us, considering with the Emenosity nerf, we'll pretty much need all that we can outside of Dragon Rage. Going on the right side, Essence abilities are Enhanced Flame, dealing 20% damage, or healing done as fire damage over 8 seconds. It's essentially our Season 2 or Season 4 of Dragonflight tier bonuses, but now it's just baked into the Flameshaper talent tree, which is really awesome. I personally love this a lot. Now for another two choice option node, Fan of the Flames, causing an engulf reignites all active enkindles, increasing their remaining damage or healing over time by 100%. And then Expanded Lungs, Fire Breath's damage over time is increased by 20%. Deep Breath's heal is the same thing for preservation. Now another two-choice option, Renewing Blaze also applies your target to one nearby enemy, or not enemy, injured ally, at 100% value. And then your wounds have a small chance to cauterize, healing you for 30% of the damage taken, often occurs from attacks that deal high amount of damage. So I believe the numbers for this is anything that's more than 30% of your total health. But obviously that's still beta, so it's not going to be guaranteed that it'll stem. And then going down the middle tree. Oh, for this as well, I think left centers will probably be your go-to option for most, unless you're in high keys, then probably something like this. Middle tree, Engulf increases duration of fire breath by 8 seconds and causes it to spread to a target within 25 yards. I really don't have any opinion over this. Pretty much anything and everything. It just depends on what kind of scenario you're in, but I guess this is good for keys at least. Doesn't really mean anything for raid. Engulf quickens your pulse, reducing your cast time of your next spell by 30%, stacks up to 2 charges. You actually get these charges quite often, especially if you use Engulf like right off the bat, so if you use 2 charges at once. Using this on Disintegrate, especially even on Raid, it doesn't even have to be just keys. Having that reduced cast time is honestly godlike. And then Engulf gains 1 additional charge and deals 20% increased damage and healing. Obviously, just really good, so you can have up to 2 charges as I stated. And then Engulf consumes 4 seconds of fire breath from the target, detonating it and damaging all nearby enemies equal to 300% of the amount consumed, reduced beyond 5 targets. So this is what I was saying before. It does about as much damage as you were to use if you use Tip the Scales and then Fire Breath. And then of course you have 2 charges of them. Overall, I think this one will actually be a really good damage class for Devastation over Scale Commander. Pretty much for the simple fact that you'll be dotting pretty much every enemy that you hit. And then of course, what makes it most different from Scale Commander is instead of actually going the normal tree that we went before, you actually have some ability in changing the bottom tier pieces, or not tier pieces, what are you called, talent choices, so you can probably take out these two, and then you can probably put it into Fountain Magic, and then Scorching Embers, so that your Fire Breath can obviously do 20% increased damage from this, and then obviously you'll have an extra in power level, all pretty nice. And yeah, red spells as well, so not only that, this 20% also goes on to your Engulf, and pretty much, obviously, as I said, your fire damage from Living Flame. So pretty much anything like that, this is probably your way to go, and then I don't think you would really like change anything else. Like obviously you can still go Charge Blast, or you can go Eternity Spin. I think I'd still go Eternity Spin, mainly because Charge Blast I think it would work way better with Scale Commander. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions over the 2 videos, obviously leave them down in the comments below. As stated in the Skill Commander video as well, I know that I'm pretty much stumbling over my words constantly, and that's just for the simple fact that I'm not used to talking to myself like this way. I will get better over time, but you just have to bear with me for quite a long, or not, I wouldn't say quite a long time, but at least for a while. Anyways, yeah, as I said, if you have any questions for over the 2 videos, just leave them down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.